In this video, I'm not going to beat around the bush at all, okay? We're going to go straight into the 28 exact reasons why I'm buying Skillz stock right now. Now, just getting into it, I want to preface that this stock has dropped over 80% since its all-time high, which means massive opportunities if this stock has been oversold or manipulated by potentially hedge funds trying to short the stock. Now, I'm going to go over my list of 28 different reasons. You tell me what I'm sort of missing on this stock and the reasons why I'm buying it. First being that Skillz has delivered over 22 consecutive quarters of continuous revenue growth. In their latest quarter, they actually had a 53% paying monthly active user growth, which is absolutely huge on its own. The payer conversion rate for Skillz was actually 19% this quarter, which was up from 12% of last year. And whenever you compare 19% to the overall gaming average, that's about 10 times higher than what the rest of the actual industry does. And on top of all that user growth and payer conversion rates, they actually had an 8% increase quarter over quarter on monthly average revenue per paying user. Today, Skillz makes about 90% of their revenue here in North America, but not for long, as they have plans to go global and actually get into India by Q4 of this year. But that's not their only plan for expansion, as Skillz actually acquired an AI-based advertising agency called Arky. This will allow them to advertise their own games and get the lowest possible cost for advertising whenever it comes to their developers. This should instantly save them about 25% of their margin, which is usually the additional increased amount of money that Arky would charge for their advertising. Skillz actually uses a lot of artificial intelligence in their own products, and the longer you let those machines run and get deep learning on how people actually interact with their products, the more they're going to learn and the better they can actually advertise to their own customers. And by far, maybe the coolest point that I have about Skillz is the fact that they have a 95% gross margin on their business, meaning that out of every dollar that they make from their products, it costs about 5 cents to run the entire business. Everything else is gross profit and goes right back into growing the business as fast as they possibly can. And with such an absolutely high margin business, it's no wonder that we have about $700 million in cash with absolutely $0 in debt. And due to massive changes in the way that the company is actually going to give out stock compensation for their CEO, Andrew Paradise's entire financial success is solely based on the actual performance of Skillz stock doing well. That's amazing for shareholders, but it's going to quickly lead me into my next point, which is because the way that the comp structure is set up for Andrew Paradise, it's really going to have him think twice before he ever thinks about selling more shares or doing share dilution as a way of growing the business. Also with that, about 15% of the overall company is owned by insiders, which means employees and executives are going to work very hard because their financial success is tied really into this business. A couple quarters ago, Skillz actually signed a deal with the NFL to actually bring the next big cash-based game to the NFL for mobile gaming. This is a game changer for Skillz and what could actually possibly be by far their biggest game because it's a real title and is going to bring massive success because it already has a massive following for the NFL. Although we don't know when this game is going to come out, it's really going to boost Skillz' actual reputation knowing that they're working with big brands. And for the most part, Skillz has only really dealt with the casual game sector. This is things like solitaire, pool, or bingo. Lately, they have put significant investments into getting into more popular genres such as synchronous multiplayer games like battle royales, first-person shooters, and racing games. And it's so funny because although they're in a small portion of the actual market, the mobile gaming market makes up for 57% of the overall gaming industry. And with 23% compounded annual growth rates going forward, this is only looking like it's going to get bigger and bigger. And with the massive push towards innovations in 5G, it's looking like they're going to be able to take mobile gaming more seriously. This may also lead to potential ways for like esport leagues and organizations to actually look at Skillz as a possible platform to make a lot of revenue for their own businesses. And long term, they actually see themselves getting into things that aren't even just cash-based systems, but instead competition overall. One that Andrew Paradise actually named was fitness, which they were going to try to go up against competition like Strava. And with all this news added up so far, it's clear that I'm not the only person that looks at it positively. For example, the average analyst looks at this stock as an $18 price target. Currently, as of today, that would be 100% upside for the company. Even whenever you look at the most bearish analysts for this stock, which places it at a $13 price target, that's still a 44% upside for this stock. And although they are actually in net losses today, that's only because they want explosive growth in this sector. If they wanted to turn profitable, they could tomorrow because of their high gross margins. And I mean, developers just love Skillz. In fact, whenever developers actually choose to go with Skillz to monetize their games, they usually end up coming back for a second or even third title. In fact, it's so severe that developers staying on Skillz platform once they've joined has a 99.9% retention rate. Skillz is actually being looked at as the underlying platform for monetization acquisition for new mobile game developers. And they're actually getting some massive developers, one like Trivia Crack, for example, which makes the #1 trivia game in the entire world on the mobile app store, and which actually bring in 150 million users annually for the last 8 years straight in a row. And that's the new upcoming game for Skillz, and yet Andrew Paradise, the CEO, says none of the actual financial estimates or anything are pricing in anything that has to do with Trivia Crack yet. By far, Skillz' biggest spend right now is on user acquisition, and Archie is looking to make a complete change to that, giving them actually access to 460 million users each month. And Skillz having about a $3 to $4 billion market cap, that places it exactly in my Goldilocks zone. While they're big enough to actually show a track record of doing good business, while still being so small that they could potentially grow into, a $100 billion market cap eventually. And Skillz Stock trading volume is another great thing to look at, because I know it obviously does not mean too much, but it's great to see high amounts of volume, whether it's hedge funds or just momentum traders. It's great to know that a lot of people have their eyes on this stock, ready for whenever the actual catalyst changes or they turn profitable, that investors are going to be there when they want to be there. Skillz has also been amazingly successful at acquiring new, very accomplished and highly talented employees, showing that these big executives are willing to put their reputations on the line because they believe in what Skillz is doing long term. Finally, Skillz has actually increased their 2021 revenue guidance, which before they were saying was going to be 375 million, is now actually saying that it's going to be 389 million. And this is comparing to what we did last year of 230 million, which is already going to be up 70%. Now, they could also continue to increase their guidances into the next 2 quarters, depending on how successful we are, but we will have to see. Let me know what you guys think about my reasonings about buying this stock in the comments down below, or what I possibly have missed. If we can get this video to 200 likes, I'll do the same video, but on the opposing view, actually posting all the cons of the stock and actually trying to see what potentially the other side is saying about this company. So make sure you guys like the video and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay safe trading. I'll see you guys on the next one.